Itsy Bitsy is a film that last year I wanted to see, but I didn't get to catch it. But it is on Amazon Prime now, so I did get to watch it today, especially with the quarantine and all. I have plenty of time to do so. This is about a family who moves to a new town to assist an elderly man. The mom is a live-in nurse, and so they come to take care of him. They are dealing with a tragedy that happened to the family, and the mom is definitely mentally compromised, dealing with the grief of what happened. This is a creature feature spider, giant spider movie. That said, I don't want to give any false expectations for this film, which, I think a lot of people are going to have, and I think that's why a lot of people are going to dislike this movie. Overall, the movie kind of plays out more like a family drama, to be completely honest. There's very little creature feature stuff going on in here. They save almost all of that for the last maybe 5 minutes of the movie. Yes, the spider, and yes, there's only one, is a looming threat in the film, I guess, but it really isn't that present in the film. Like, yes, we get a couple glimpses, and there's a couple little moments where characters are around it. Very minimal death. The practical effects on the spider are good. The spider isn't very big, to be honest. I mean, it's huge by traditional spider standards. I mean, if I saw something like this, I'd freak out. But we're talking something maybe this big at best. We're not talking, the size of a car or any crazy thing like, what's that movie? There's been a few of them. Big Ass Spider, I want to say, and Eight-Legged Freaks. There's the fucking movie. I was like, David Arquette, whatever. No, these aren't giant spiders, and there's not more than one of them. There's just one bigger spider in this house, and the acting in this is all pretty good. Got some familiar faces in here, but overall, even though I was interested in the family dynamic, I wouldn't recommend rushing to this. It's not going to give you what you want. I think that's what it comes down to. Like, people are going to see the title, people are going to see the poster, people are going to see the synopsis, and they're going to think, oh, this is arachnophobia. Oh, this is, some really fun or even serious, doesn't matter, but it's going to be very creature feature eccentric. And I just feel like the main meat of this film is family drama. Just a mom who really is a flawed character, which I probably would say is my favorite thing about the film, is that the main protagonist of the film is an extremely flawed character. She's not the best mom. She's not the best nurse. She's clearly, not doing super well in the head, which with what happened to her, I don't blame her at all. But it's nothing we haven't seen a million times before. So while the acting is fairly good from, more B movie actors in a B movie, it just doesn't bring anything all that interesting to the table. It's like, we've seen grief-stricken parents dealing with the loss of somebody. It's nothing new, and it's in a film where you wouldn't expect much of it. So if it's gonna be there, then it should be a lot more interesting than it was. Another thing I will give the movie credit for is that even though there are two young children in the movie who do a pretty good job of acting considering their age, the kids aren't completely off limits to harm within the film. Which with films like this, with kids that young, they're usually like, they have plot armor just surrounding them. Nothing can happen to them. And, that's not exactly true in this film. So I was I was kind of surprised by that, and pleasantly surprised, should I say. Not that I, want kids to die or get hurt in real life, obviously, but in a movie, it's like you don't want characters that are completely void of being harmed in a horror flick. It's like, no, 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 no. You're going to put a character in there. They have to be able to die. They have to be able to get hurt. It just has to happen. If you're not, then don't write them into the movie. You know what I mean? So, especially like a main character. You can have a kid in a horror movie, but make them a very, very secondary character. If you make them a main character, they have to be able to be harmed. It's part of it. So don't write them in if you don't want to harm them. But yeah, just overall, it's a fairly generic family drama with creature feature elements thrown in here and there, and a climactic scene that didn't really amount to a whole bunch of excitement. It was like, that's kind of cool. Like, the practical effects are good. Like, I liked that part of it for sure. And there is some CG there, but for the most part, it's practical. And I was like, all right, this is okay. This is fine. But, more death for sure. More creature feature elements for sure. Less, generic family drama, and more interesting characters doing more interesting things. Of course, I mean, it's just very mediocre all the way around, I guess, when I'm just kind of putting my finger on it right now. And yeah, not a terrible watch. I didn't hate my time watching it. I left it kind of feeling blah. It's like, oh, okay, that was, it was all right. Okay, moving on. So there you go. I wish I had a better review to give on this one, because I did really want to like this, but yeah, just didn't win me over. So yeah, not something you need to rush to, or maybe see it all. But if you do, let me know. Adios.